All right, good afternoon, everyone. This is your Embraer Learning and Development Specialist, Chris Kraus, and our session today is Leaner Ways Through the Holidays. So before we start off in our session, I just want to do a little bit of just sharing some information here. So first off, Joe, if you could go to the next slide there. Perfect, thank you. Some housekeeping. We want to make sure everyone's microphones are muted and video is disabled. I think everyone's got that, so thank you. The session is being recorded, so if anybody knows of someone that was not able to attend this session, it will be available later this afternoon and onward in Power. There will be some Q&A time at the end of the presentation, and as always, we have a post-session survey. And I believe, Joe, we've got the QR code at the end there so that people can just use their phones and grab that QR code and complete the survey right there. So with that, I'd like to introduce our United Healthcare health coach, Joe DeMatteis. Joe, it's all yours.
All right. Thank you, Chris. Well, like he said, I'm Joe DeMatteis, your United Healthcare health coach. I see a lot of the names, on the list are repeat customers. Thank you guys for continuing to come back, and hopefully you're getting, some information out of these presentations that you can use in your life and, pass that on to family, friends, whoever. For those of you that are new, I've been with United now for 4.5 years, been a health coach for 7, but been with Embraer, serving you guys for 3 years, and you guys may or may not have heard, we're going to be entering 2021. You guys are keeping medical, dental, and vision with United, so I will be with you guys again, although from a virtual standpoint for now. But anyways, real quick reminder: you guys have up until December 1st to request the take-home biometrics kits from Quest. So if you haven't done that, do so. It's free to do. It's a finger stick, pretty simple, and then you'll send your results into Quest. And then when the results are ready, a lot of people ask, how do you know the results are ready? You'll get an email from Quest, and then you can log in, and your whole panel, lipid panel and blood glucose will be there. And also December 31st, deadline to earn the $125 Rally Health Survey, and also visit your primary care physician. Because once January 1 rolls over, it's a new benefits year. So if you don't take advantage of these incentives this year, you'll lose that opportunity. So anyways, let's move right in. All right. So leaner ways for the holidays. So let's start off with a quiz question. True or false? And if you want to just shout the answer out or put it in a chat log, whatever's fine. The average American, true or false? The average American gains 5 pounds over the holiday season. Take a few seconds and think of that. What do you guys think? You think it's true, false? And anybody want to say anything? If not, I'll give you the answer.
We're seeing a few trues. Doug says it seems low. Christine says at least, if not more.
Yeah, and I'll dive right into that. The answer is false. In reality, the average American, believe it or not, can gain anywhere from 5 to 10 pounds. Sounds like no big deal, but it can actually have a snowball effect if everything else isn't in check. So during this presentation, we're going to review how to lead a healthier life during the holiday season, but specifically, we're going to cover survival tips for the holiday, ways to cope with holiday stress, getting to know a little bit about family history. I'm sure some of you guys may have family gatherings. It's a good way to kind of catch up and hear about some things. Coping with tough economic times. As we all know, COVID-19 put a strain on a lot of industries and everybody in general, but more importantly, keeping the holiday cheer. So let's get started.
And Joe, we don't see your PowerPoint right now.
Oh, it's not.
No, it went away.
Hold on a sec here.
Maybe unshare and reshare. Sometimes that
let's try it. Oh, could have been it. How about right now?
Yeah, and then there we go.
All right.
Activity.
Sorry about that. Okay. So this obviously, this would be something that, if we were all together in the same room, I'd put you guys in pairs. But so since we're all individually, let's just take some time to answer some of these questions below. And, again, you can put them in the chat log if you want to shout it out, that's fine. Think about what brings you joy during the holiday season. What can you do to experience more joy? And what do you find stressful? So there's those 3 questions right there in number 2. You want to jot them down, great. You want to put them in the chat log, that's fine as well.
And we're in a small group today, so if you guys want to just unmute, feel free to just share.
Yeah, and if not, that's fine too. Mainly I just wanted you guys to think about those. So for me, what do I find stressful? I'm going to be traveling back home. So, obviously I see now airlines are making you take these COVID tests. And, if you're not in the clear, they're restricting travel. Some states are going into lockdown. So I'm like, okay, am I going to have to drive to Pennsylvania? So traveling, obviously, this is something I'm going to have to start thinking about. Don't want to make that drive. Obviously the prepping the food, with family, we can make a list of these. So, all right. So how can you avoid gaining those holiday pounds during this season? So we're going to go over some survival tips. So first, plan ahead. So visualize, what you can do at the event or a party before you arrive. I don't know how many holiday parties there'll be with COVID and whatnot, but I'm sure there's going to be some gatherings. Obviously planning ahead, it can help you stick to a plan. Some ideas: have no more than 1 alcoholic beverage. Then drink mineral water or club soda. If you have a favorite dessert and you want to try multiple ones like myself, instead of getting a piece of every one, which I may do so anyways, but maybe trying a small piece of each one. So if you have 5 different desserts, maybe a small piece of each one that would make the slice of a normal piece of pie. You can decide that, but mainly focusing on, enjoying good conversation and interacting versus just focusing on eating. Second, don't starve yourself. For any occasion involving food, it's always good to eat a piece of fruit or yogurt or light snack before you go, because that can help curb insulin levels. So that way when you get there, you're not just binging. If it's an event in the evening, make sure that, you're eating throughout the day. Don't neglect, breakfast and lunch. And then third, what I've done in the past, bring your own dish. Because, offer to bring an appetizer such as fresh veggies, fruits, low-fat dip. This is a way that, when you get there, that there's a safe dish, for you to eat. Buddying up, making a goal with a friend to help maintain weight or lose weight during the holiday. And then the last one, and my mother's famous for this, limiting leftovers. She always tries to send those bad dishes home with people. So that way you're not indulging. No need to make your home difficult, but mainly a place that we can control. Number 6, make smart substitutions. So, make your favorite holiday dish healthier. Ways you can do that. Say, for example, the recipe calls for, sugar. Maybe you can use 1/3 of what the amount that they're asking. Using trans fat-free margarine instead of lard or butter. Using 1% skim milk versus whole milk or cream, because that's going to lower the fat content. Small substitutions can maintain your flavor, but it can also reduce the calories in a dish. Choosing beverages wisely, limiting alcohol, which can tend to be high in calories. Liquors, sweet wines, mixed cocktail drinks, they can contain anywhere from 150 to 450 calories per glass. It's pretty much just empty calories. Choosing instead water or seltzer. If you're looking for a kick, you can also infuse water with seasonal fruit, lemon, cinnamon. You can even try hot or green tea with a little bit of honey. Number 8, maintaining a perspective. Remember, one single day of overeating, it's not going to make or break you, but it takes days of overeating to gain weight. So if you overindulge at a holiday party, or dinner, put it behind you and return to your usual eating plan and leave your guilt behind, because you do want to enjoy the moment. And then 9, celebrate the true meaning of the holiday. try to give food less importance by focusing on what the holidays are really about, spending time with family, friends, just trying to increase quality time without focusing food, on hours at a time. And then finally, exercise. I doubt there's going to be many holiday 5Ks. My hometown used to put on one every year, but obviously due to the pandemic. But getting outside to walk, if it's for not sure where everybody's at, depending on the temperature, trying to do some stuff where you're up, moving around, motivating you to focus on exercise and keep your body moving. That's a great way to prevent holiday weight gain. And, as I always have said before, check with your doctor before increasing activity level. Coping with holiday stress, probably the biggest one on everybody's list. So in addition to holiday eating, stress can be a reason for some of us to overindulge. We can be stress eaters. With the holiday season, it could be a time of joy, but it could also be hectic and stressful. Those of you that have to do Christmas shopping, crowds at the mall, back-to-back parties, if you have to host, it can bring down the joy, that we're typically want to feel. So to cope with the stress, we need to prepare ourselves in the following ways. So we mentioned this a minute ago with the prepping, first create a game plan, spend a little time up front getting organized, make a list of what you need to buy, try to shop ahead of time before things are overpicked and that you're not so much feeling the pressure. If you're going to be cooking, plan your menu ahead of time. Think of whether some of the items can be prepared ahead, like things that can be frozen or refrigerated that you can maybe make a day or two in advance. Next, accept reality. People are probably going to arrive late. You may arrive late. People may get on your nerves. But remember, real life isn't a holiday special. Don't expect perfect decorations, perfect people, perfect meal. Just try to go with the flow. Enjoy with what you have. Be aware of unhealthy stress relievers. Holiday stress causes a lot of people to fall into bad habits such as, drinking, smoking, eating too much. Try to think about any unhealthy habits that you had in the past and try to better plan for those. Create new traditions. So if you're stressed out by the usual festivities, try something different. Instead of making a huge meal on your own with your family, maybe you can invite others over or turn it into a potluck within your own home. You can do things like gift exchanges, white elephants, taking walks through neighborhoods or drives through neighborhoods and looking at, Christmas lights. They do that big down here in Palm Beach County. They put these, big, wreaths and things up in one of the parks. Doubt there'll be many holiday concerts this year, but making time for your health. If you're in the holiday rush, don't let your well-being fall by the wayside. Try to stay on your normal sleep schedule, getting regular exercise. A lot of us will probably take PTO, and it can be very easy to start sleeping in later. And then when we come back to work, it's you got to get up earlier, and it can be difficult. Try to find 30 minutes a day for exercise, and it doesn't have to be continuous, guys. Even if it's like 3 10-minute sessions, get out, walk the dog, do things here and there where you're up moving around, help your circulation. Watching out for caffeine and alcohol. Caffeine can raise your levels of stress, increasing cortisol levels, and that can also affect your sleep. As I said a minute ago, alcohol, contains a lot of calories, and, drinking too much can make you feel kind of down in the dumps. So make sure you're drinking plenty of water. Teas are good, even seltzers. 7, give yourself a break. In the midst of doing things for others, it's easy to forget, to take care of ourselves. So if you feel stress building up, don't hesitate to get away for a few minutes. Step outside, find a quiet corner, do some deep breathing. And we've done breathing exercises in the past. And don't forget about the Calm app that's available in San Velo as well, too. Even calming music can help. And then finally, enjoy the holidays. They're supposed to be a time of joy and greatness and being together. So, sometimes we forget what we're celebrating. So just remember to spend time, with those that are close to you. Coping with tough economic times. So one of the stressors, and this has came up, many times, is money. So while budgeting can be a way to reduce your stress, there's also other ways to cope with tough times and spending sprees on the holidays. Whether you're shopping in person or online. Here's that first one again. Have a plan. It can mean creating a budget, finding a way to make more money outside of work. For people that work hourly, sometimes they can pick up extra hours or an extra shift. People sometimes can get seasonal jobs, cleaning out your garage or basement or attic, selling unwanted items. Whatever you choose, having a plan helps us feel sometimes that we're in a little bit more control and that we're empowered. And every year I like to go through and get some stuff and donate it to Goodwill or the church. Any way that I can help others too. That makes me feel that I'm doing something beneficial during the holiday. Tone it down. You can still get a tree, but you don't have to buy the biggest one. Similarly, it's better to pare down the gift list to just a few meaningful ones, rather than going into debt or spending a lot of extra money on things that may not necessarily be needed. Another idea is you can, host a gift swap. Instead of buying each and every friend and family member a gift, maybe you can do like a Secret Santa where you're just buying one. Kind of cool way to interact with people. Coming up with outside the box ideas. Whether the money's tight or not, it's a good idea to have, non-monetary gifts that demonstrate, your love for offering time and energy. Ideas for homemade gifts can be stuff like, things that could be knitted or crafts. But, all right. Holiday family get-togethers can be one of the few times in the year, that we see our extended families. I know for me, being, down in Florida and I'm originally from Pennsylvania, having everyone in one spot, it allows you to take the time to talk about, various past family members and things. Did you have, a family member that suffered from diabetes or high cholesterol or high blood pressure? I know that comes up every year, at my household with me being a health coach and, with some of the issues that we have. It's a good way for you to ask questions and learn and, ways that you can prepare, issues such as cancer and heart disease. It's better to learn these things, ahead of time. And lastly, to end, I have a 7-question quiz that we can all do together, and we'll go through them one by one. So if you want to answer in the chat log, or if you just, we're a small enough group, you could probably just answer out loud. So first question, avoiding breakfast and lunch will help control overeating at an evening event. Do we think this is true or false? And
False.
anybody? I heard it. The answer is false. Yes, we mentioned that earlier. You can help, control insulin levels. Number 2, to better manage stress, think of unhealthy ways you've managed stress in the past and be prepared to choose healthier options in the current season. And that is true.
True.
Letter number 3, planning ahead for spending and shopping is known to increase stress during the holidays. True or false? Think real close. Planning ahead.
False.
The answer is false, right? Planning ahead can help reduce that. Number 4, creating new traditions is one tip offered to help relieve holiday stress.
True.
And that answer is true. Number 5, overeating for even just one day during the holidays will ruin your eating plan. It means you can't make healthier choices the next day.
False.
Yeah, and that's false. If that were the case, I think a lot of us would be in trouble. Thinking of how you'll handle food and overeating at a party before you arrive may help manage your overeating and your stress event.
True.
The answer is true. Great. And then number 7, a great way to manage weight gain during the holidays is to keep moving with exercise.
True.
True.
That is true. So with that being said, before, I answer any questions, I just want to wish everybody a healthy and happy Thanksgiving. And, Christmas will be here before you know it. But remember, take time to find joy, focus on, what we have, try to stress and whatnot, and always have a plan of action. And any questions? And then, as always, my contact information. I will be on PTO all next week, but I'll be frequently checking email. And then, last but not least, session survey. So you can go ahead and complete that. And if there's, any other topics, make sure you guys list that. And don't forget about your incentives and the take-home kits.
Awesome. Joe, thank you so much. This has been great, just seeing these pointers coming up on the screen, even things that we've heard before. It's nice to just be reminded of them again, especially right now, right before it all starts. So I hope you all found a little nugget of information that you're going to take away from today and just help you get through this, get through the holidays. So any questions at all for Joe? Anything beyond?
I think we're good to go.
All right, great, guys.
Yes.
I just said thank you.
Oh, okay. I thought I didn't know if the question was coming in, but thank you guys. Again, have a
Appreciate it.
happy
Thank you.
holidays.
Be safe.
Happy
All right,
Thanksgiving,
take care.
everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah. same
Bye-bye.
to
Enjoy,
you.
everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks a lot.
All set, Chris?